Good morning, YouTube. We are back at the same spot pretty much where we left off, right? So we are on a rest day today. We are resting, we are chilling, and it's quite good because obviously Michael's gonna be with me for most of the day, and then we've actually got to go to the gym. We're gonna film some work for the clients, like lifestyle library and exercise library, because there's some clips I need to get filmed for them. So we won't be at the gym for long, because honestly on a rest day I don't really want to be at the gym either. I like to stay away a little bit, so we'll probably be in there for like 45 minutes just to film the clips and get out. Then we'll get some food, and I've got a sports massage today, and I've actually got a tattoo appointment, which Michael definitely doesn't want to hang around for because it's going to be boring as shit, and getting tattooed is boring. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. We're just going to be, at the end of the day, rest day is just super resting. It's something that I've needed to learn to do a lot more, is to rest, and how important rest is. Food's a little bit lower on rest days, nothing crazy, about 300 calories less on a rest day at the moment. But otherwise, guys, there's nothing to report. Everything's in a really good position. Happy, content. Those goods. Will, actually, one of my clients came in yesterday. He's working at the Formula One in Abu Dhabi, so I trained with him yesterday, so that was really nice, and we got some food afterwards. So it's the nice thing about being based like in Dubai, it's kind of like the hub, like everyone kind of just meets here, so that was really nice. But otherwise we're just going to get a little bit more work done here, tick off some to-do lists, and we'll probably see you in the gym filming some bits for the client library, so see you there. Before we head to the gym, the topic's obviously coming up a little bit more now, and obviously how do you handle Christmas and eating out and all these social events? Honestly, no different. Like, nothing needs to change. When you really think about it, like, Christmas is not that much of a big deal. You're gonna have potentially 1 to 2 social events a week, right? For maybe 2 to 3 weeks. That's absolutely fine. Christmas, you're gonna have Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. That's it. So realistically, it's not that many meals. For example, let's say 7 meals and some alcohol. Don't worry about it. There's loads of ways that you can manage this. You can either look at we can use different methods of like intermittent fasting to save calories for the evening. We can look at kind of backloading our carbohydrates, so having less carbohydrates in the day and saving it for the evening and kind of consuming more calories then. Or we can look at, if you're tracking your calories, we can think about actually like calorie cycling. So you might think, all right, I'm going out on Friday night, it's Monday, I'm eating 2,000 calories a day. If I eat 1,600, that saves me 4, 8, 12, 16, 20? Is that right? 2,000? So that'll save you like 2,000 calories for that meal out. So there's lots of ways we can damage control this, and pretty much like we were saying to Michael, like at the end of the day, guys, like Christmas happens once a year. So it's just like, just go enjoy. Make sure you're walking a lot, drinking more water, things like that. And it's a really good time period to test yourself as well. Like, people are like, oh, you know, starting the new year because of Christmas. I'm like, get used to managing social events right now, because this is going to be the hardest time period. So if you can do this now, I'm like, you're going to be able to do it for the rest of the year and for the rest of your life. So at the end of the day, it's Christmas. There's loads of ways you can approach it, but just enjoy and don't put too much pressure on yourself either. There's lots of different methods you can use, so yeah, just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. It's pretty much what I've been going on with clients this week, just reassuring them that it's not the end of the world. It's going to be a week max out of the year. So it's cool. So you've still got 51 weeks to sort of have a good year. It's fine. Don't have our assisted pull-up machine, what we can do, go on Amazon, get a band. You can get a variety pack, different resistance, and we can use these for our pull-ups. So green band, strongest one, we'll use these for our pull-ups. Same technique. You can cross the feet if you want to, shoulder blades back, chest up, shoulder blades retracted, pull the elbows into the hips. Nice squeeze at the top, slow on the release, stretch out the lats, keep them engaged, shoulder blades back still, pull through the elbows.
kettlebell swing. So nice and simple, all the power's coming from our hips. So you just want to start to get that hip snap. So it's like, nice way, it's like humping. Nice snap in the hips, start to build up that momentum. All the power's coming from the hips. Making sure you don't bend your knees too much. And trying to get the kettlebell eye height. When the weight starts to fall back through your legs, start the snap. Boom. And a good test to do with this one, if you can front raise the kettlebell, it's too light. So always find a weight that you can't actually front raise. So this weight's a little bit too light for me, but find a weight you can't actually front raise. Alright guys, so that preacher curl, literally preacher, giving yourself that little bit of support, so we isolate the biceps, and all we're going to do is think about keeping tension at the bottom, a little bit of tension in those biceps, that full stretch, nice squeeze at the peak, doesn't have to come too high, get a second squeeze at the top, slowly release, control it, control it, control it, and I want to get that nice stretch at the bottom, the tension still in the biceps, and I'm going to start that contraction again. Alright guys, so we're going to go over bouncing reps, and what do I mean by bouncing reps? So very simple concept. You'll see a lot of the time, people are using their whole body and their arms, whatever it is, to get the weight up. When we're here to build lean muscle mass, when we're here to get stronger and isolate a muscle, we want to isolate that muscle as much as possible. So we don't want to do any bouncing reps. So you'll see a lot of time, reps done like that. There's a lot of momentum, even sometimes the legs get involved. So it's using the legs, using the body, twisting the body. When it comes to this bicep movement, we just want to work on this bicep. So I want to keep the body nice and tight. Big deep breath into the gut. So nice and tight core. Stretching out the bicep, slowly squeezing. We're here to isolate that bicep and take that muscle to ultimate failure. So nice stretch, Nice squeeze. No body movement, just the bicep doing all the work. And you can see here, I'm supporting myself against the machine. My feet are locked into the ground. Everything you do, think of it like a building. Build from the ground up, like whatever you do. We've got to have our feet locked down into a bench, into a squat, into a lunge. Feet nice and tight, abdominals tight. Screw your feet into the ground. If you're doing a kind of single arm movement, lean onto machinery, really get nice and tight into the movement. So avoid any bouncing repetitions, swing in the body. Think about isolation, slow and controlled. All right guys, so we're gonna go over any abdominal work. So going through that crunch variation, whether that be a standard crunch, going in for leg lifts, whatever it is. It's a very easy movement to mess up. So what we wanna do is break it all down. So it's just isolating those abs instead of getting momentum using those hip flexors. So I'm gonna use a decline leg lift because it's personally my favorite and I get a good connection with it. So from this point here, we almost want to disengage the hips, nice and relaxed, and it's a dead. So from there, I think about drawing my knees over my chest and almost think about rolling my spine off one vertebrae at a time. So it's gonna be that nice engagement. Drawing my knees up over that chest. Slow on the way down, control. You can see I'm gonna open up the hips, re-engage the abs, crunching back in. I'm not even pulling into the bench too hard. Disengaging the hips again, re-engage those abs, draw the knees into the chest. I'm just gonna do 3 more reps. Slow, 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 slow. Finish every rep and release. So just anything abdominal work, we almost want to disengage the hips because otherwise we're going to use those hip flexors instead of the abs and then think about crunching into that movement.